Hey guys, do you want to see a movie that features gangs, gang leaders, and brother-brother relationship?
What? Ew.
wait. If you do, then the Code of Silence is for you.
What is the brother-brother relationship?
Is it the gang that Chuck Norris is going after? Because I know that's kind of like a family. What? First thing I'll say right away. Well, never mind. I'll get to it.
Oh, yeah. Code of Silence from 1985. This is a movie that we watched for this episode of Loose Cannon. Nick on Cage. My name is Brian Lee. To my left.
Bran.
To my right.
Christopher Lee.
Christopher. What is the synopsis for Code of Silence?
A Chicago cop is caught in the middle of a gang war while his own comrades shun him because he wants to take down an irresponsible cop.
Was this? No. This is the most Chicago movie ever.
Yes, it is.
It is super Chicago. The one guy, he's like, "Oh, let's open up a Polish Italian beef stand." I'm like, "That's a great idea."
Hey, for $2K, we're gonna a beef and sausage stand outside Wrigley, and I'm like,
I know.
I'm like, what the shit?
Don't worry. I wrote.
And dude, just like all the mustaches, just
Yes.
like the the reference, like the bears and
all
like
the
Cubs.
bars.
Yeah.
Like,
and you got your your Metra, you got your loop, you know.
Yeah, the part in the beginning where they're going, the guy's driving underneath.
Yes.
I'm like that's Chicago. Like that's Chicago. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think people that aren't from Chicago might not realize all the bars that are downtown. Like there's in certain areas. How
Yeah.
close they are to each
Yeah.
other. Yeah.
No,
Well, I've been to a lot of places where there's either no liquor stores anywhere in the city, no bars anywhere in the city.
I feel like that's more of a Dry County problem. Because I know parts of
I think Cleveland.
Minneapolis are like that.
Yeah.
Where like their hours are really weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of but it's like not like isolated. There's a lot of big places that just
Bada
don't have-
big?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Brand,
words.
do you recommend Code of Silence?
I do recommend it.
Brian, do you recommend Code of Silence?
I do.
I'll say why.
I did until about an hour and 24 minutes into this movie.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I do recommend this. I recommend it, but I'm afraid that I like it so much because it is set in Chicago. So if someone from like New York or LA saw this, I don't know if they'd get as much out of it.
Yeah, but if they were like in California, they'd have their smoothies and their
Kale,
flip-flops,
and avocado,
And
green things.
Yeah. No, I think because it's so old, it has that like.
Yeah.
What? The movie's old.
Things from 1985 are so old. You son of a
35 years ago. I was 3 when it came out. And first, I'm older than both of you. So what are you talking about? Okay. Well, because like it has that charm. Cities don't look like that anymore. So I feel like if someone from New York watched it,
right,
they wouldn't be like it won't look like New York. It won't look like Chicago. It'll look like a city that used to be around like that.
What was it? Wasn't there another? What was the other Chuck Norris movie where it's set in Chicago? He's like Bulls tickets.
Oh yeah,
which one was
yeah.
that?
We did Hellbound, but was that in Chicago?
Oh, maybe that was it.
Ooh, I just passed it.
I
Let
think
me
that
see.
is it.
Yep. Hellbound.
Hellbound,
I wrote
okay.
down he's gonna miss the Bulls game. I wrote he's gonna miss the
There
Bulls
you go.
game. Yeah.
I had a real old man moment because I was just like watching this by myself, and then I got to like the train scene where they're like chasing each other like on on the CTA on the L train. And like I saw it in like I recognized like the station and stuff. So I was like, Stacy, come see what the train looked like in 1985.
How much you want to bet those are the same trains that they use today?
Oh, they're not. That's why I actually called her over because they look different.
they look so familiar to me because I have been in like those trains. I used to taking the train back when I was.
That glove there.
Oh my fingers are cold, so I'm kind of just warming them up with my hands.
Okay.
I had an accident. I'd appreciate it if you didn't point it out.
That mullet guy.
Oh, in the beginning.
Is he just mumbling for 10 minutes?
Yes. Yes, it is. That mullet is like
Hardcore. It's in charge.
yeah.
Chuck Norris has a fantastic whistle.
He whistles a lot in this.
Yes. Like, I can't really whistle. I don't have one. I can't do it. So I'm really always jealous when I watch a movie or like know people or people that have a good whistle, because I wish I could do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just something I wish I can do. I just feel,
And this is kind of like how you wish you could breakdance.
Yeah.
It sounds good, but then like once you start doing it, like out in public,
I'll impress everyone I know.
no, because then you're gonna do it, and some guys be like, "Oh, "What the fuck, dude? Fucking asshole, fucking calling dolphins."
But Boogaloo though,
it wouldn't be an '80s movie or a 1985 movie if there wasn't a robot in it.
I like
Happy Birthday, Polly. It's what I wrote down.
I had the exact same thought, and so I like the robot in Rocky IV. And when I saw the robot in this, I was like, "Yes, this is perfect."
See, I was the opposite. I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?
I was so
and it's being
happy.
operated by Martin Crane, and I'm just,
That's awesome.
I was so
Marty
happy.
Crane when he's young, but still has gray hair.
Yeah.
The only bad thing is the guy that said he was the perfect cop, that the machine was the perfect cop. No, RoboCop is the perfect cop.
absolutely.
It's not this machine.
Doorway Trouble.
When did
Exactly.
RoboCop come out?
91 or 90,
No,
72? I don't
it's
know.
before Terminator 2. I feel
Basically,
like
this came out before RoboCop, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
yeah.
So RoboCop stole
Yes.
the idea from
No.
Code of Silence.
No.
That's what you're saying.
Was there a RoboCop cereal?
I'm sure. Wasn't there? It was a cartoon. They like did everything, I think, to make any kind of money off of RoboCop, I feel. I know they made toys. I know they did.
Which is funny because it's not a kid's
It is
movie.
not. You know what they should do? They should get rid of all these bodies and plant tomatoes. Do you remember that? You guys, when the guys are in the graveyard or in the cemetery, the
Are you
two
talking about
cops.
the movie or RoboCop?
Oh no, Code of Silence.
RoboCop.
Code of Silence, and that when they're in the cemetery.
At the very beginning, yeah.
And the one guy's just like, I gotta take a pee.
Okay. We are related.
Yeah, the guy's like,
I don't know his actual name.
I don't either.
But just the keep the changing filthy animal guy is in this.
You have a shot, kid? A little nerve tonic.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
That's such a distinct voice.
yeah, that
Yeah,
is him.
you want a chip?
Oh wow. Oh, did you guys catch the part in the beginning before like the shooting happened? That one guy that you heard over the walkie-talkies, that black dude that was like bringing the mullet guy to whoever. When he knocked
yeah.
on the door, he's like, "Oh, trick or treat, smell my feet," and he walks in.
Treat, smell my feet.
Yeah, there's just like so much overlapping dialogue.
Yeah. The audio is very weird in the beginning.
Like, okay.
Okay, at 17 minutes, I think 49 seconds, I have no idea what the guy says, but it sounds like, "You want a tuna, fuckface?" He didn't say
Actually, no, that sounds right.
Yeah, that does kind of sound right, actually.
It's not a thing, though. You don't,
Tuna fuckface?
yeah, exactly. So I have
It's
no
the number
idea.
7 at Subway. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should just go to Subway and order the tuna
Oh,
fuckface. See what
yeah,
happens.
so give me the tuna fuckface.
Why do you do this? I'm just trying to help you.
Toasted.
12-inch, please. Thank you.
I closed door forever.
I mean, this is kind of going towards the end. So, for people who have not seen the movie, they introduced this like police robot that can do everything in the very beginning. It's not in the rest of the movie until the very end.
It saves the day.
Yes. So my question is, was Chuck Norris, does he just have the God-given like ability to just control that thing? Or during the whole course of the movie, is he like studying like the manual so he knows how to use it? Because like he knows how to use it perfectly.
Right.
Yeah, he
It's
does.
not like he's like wrestling with the controls.
Well,
like
yeah, it's almost like he was using it at first, and then like he like put it on like demo mode or something like that.
which uses live ammunition.
What's crazy? Demo mode did exactly what it needed to do.
Right,
I was like, man, like they really planned this out.
That's
They
really
know.
convenient.
Yeah. Crimes is the same everywhere.
One of my favorite things in this movie is when the I don't even know who they were. It's the mom, Mrs. Luna, like the older Italian
Yes.
lady.
Yeah.
So like they're going out to like the produce truck
Yes.
that parks right in front of their house.
Dude.
And they go out there and like, the tomatoes look good or something like that. But it's funny. So there's a bunch of like bad guys hanging in the produce truck.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as soon as they open the door, the mom is just standing there like this.
Yeah.
Just
And
like-
I love how like she knows the guy that like did it, and the guy he's just standing there. He's like, "Oh, that's fine. You're getting shot. Yeah, that's fine." Yeah.
the cop bar scene
Yes.
where the two guys try to hold it up. I thoroughly enjoyed
I
that.
did too, and I'm very happy they didn't drag it on.
Yeah,
because it was like something they just like threw in and added.
Yes.
and it was the perfect amount of time.
Right.
It was good.
So that apparently was based on a true story. I guess that happened in Chicago on the north side,
that's
where like two
hilarious.
guys tried to
funny.
like hold up a like cop bar.
Yeah.
So they threw that in. And while I'm on that subject, so his buddy, who's always trying to like start business ideas, I forget that actor's name. He was a Chicago cop.
He looks like it.
I believe he
been in a whole bunch of other
Law and
stuff.
Order. He was in Law and Order for a while too, I believe.
I got 3 dudes who'll vouch for me, too.
Now we're gonna need their names.
Yeah? How about Ozini, Meanie, Money, and Mo?
Hey, don't be a smart guy.
Chuck Norris's nickname in this movie is Stainless Steel.
Yeah,
Don't
yes.
know why.
I didn't like that. It seems like the cops don't like him.
No.
It's either like
they let him to die.
No, but
That's literally in the
but no,
synopsis.
but I'm saying even before it all, it's like they weren't really.
Yeah. Well, his
with
partner
them.
likes him.
Yeah, it just seemed very odd, I should say, just because he was too by the book.
Yeah, this movie leads you to believe that like the whole police force is kind of not corrupt but shady.
Exactly.
And like Chuck Norris is like the one like straight guy.
Right, so I was
not
like, that's
sexually, but you know.
yeah. That was a little strange.
Hey there, Tiger.
Oh, so the part where they're in the warehouse. No, okay, so I think we should a little clarification or whatever. There are 2 gang families, Italian mobsters and I guess Mexican mobsters?
Yeah,
Whatever?
nachos.
Yeah. So the Italian ones decide to kill a bunch of the Mexican guys and steal a bunch of cocaine. Well, the Mexican group doesn't like that at all, you know, and they go and they just wipe out almost every like Italian mobster. So that family is almost wiped out completely. And it's at the end is when Chuck takes out the rest of the Mexican mobsters. It's like at the end, like everyone's dead and Chuck Norris is the champion kind of thing. That's kind of how it's played out.
Chuck Norris wins Kumite.
Exactly. So to that point, at an hour 28 in, during the explosions, when the Happy Birthday Polly shoots its missiles into the cardboard boxes. I don't know if it was missiles or if it was just like gunfire, but those boxes blew up like they was filled with TNT. they were just cardboard boxes. It was the funniest thing. I'm like, that was really out of place. Like everything seemed pretty okay, like fight wise, except like that was kind of like, oh.
I'm kind of glad. It's kind of going off the fighting thing. I'm kind of glad they showed Chuck Norris like sparring with mitts and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
that was
that's
cool.
refreshing.
I like that.
And I feel like most Chuck Norris movies, he's just like this dude that like knows how to do like kung fu or martial arts.
Yeah.
But this like actually shows him like training. I was like, oh, okay.
And speaking of sparring, I guess, is that Mexican gang the worst at fighting ever? So at like an hour 13, he goes to that bar and like that's when he calls for backup and no one shows up.
Oh, yes.
He kicks almost all their asses and then finally the guy hits him with a pool ball and then, you know, that'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
But I mean, he like is taking down at least 20 guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. It's like he's the champion of everything. I mean, it's Chuck Norris though.
Right.
He really doesn't have a lot of lines in any movies he does he? Like, he has lines.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
I mean, he's not giving like monologues, if that's what you mean.
Well, that's exactly what I mean. Because it seems like everything else we watch, people have like more lines when they talk. Him is like, it's like maybe 10 words and that's it. Then it's a new scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bad. It's just
he doesn't
didn't
have
really realize.
He doesn't have like the Stallone first blood moment.
Yeah.
Like the monologue at the end.
Yeah.
Like, Chuck Norris never has like a thing like that.
And
No.
I guess because I haven't seen like Chuck Norris movies, and I mean until we started watching all these, like so now seeing it again, kind of was like, oh wow, he really doesn't talk much. It's all people love him just because he kicks ass and takes names.
Yeah.
I feel like the stunt work in this is pretty good.
The whole thing where they're running on top of the train
Yeah.
was fucking fantastic.
That was awesome. Go ahead.
I was like, what do you think when they jumped into the lake, or I mean the river? Like, why didn't they die?
Well, so yeah, that's the thing. They jumped.
That part's hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 'cause as soon as they started to jump, I was like, oh, that's really high. But then when the camera zoomed out, I was like, oh, maybe that isn't as high as I think.
You could do it.
They fell for quite a bit, like, and that's like hitting like concrete. Like water isn't like
we
it's
talked
not like
about this
marshmallows.
in some other movie. Oh, it was a Bronson movie where I'm like, oh, you're like, it's like hitting concrete at a certain height.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It is
Chuck
water.
Norris.
It's not solid.
See?
Yeah,
right.
those make sense.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Otherwise, you couldn't drink it.
That is true. It would be drinking like Legos.
Yeah. Yeah. When they both hop into the water, and then the bad guy just gets demolished by his speedboat.
Gets killed by karma.
Yeah.
But yeah, that action scene was awesome. Because they're like running on top of the train, which is pretty cool. And then kind of later on in the movie, the whole like car chase scene and like Lower Wacker Drive.
Yes.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah. I didn't care about the daughter. Did you tell you even at the end, I'm like, oh, he's gonna hit her with the hammer. Come on, do it.
What the fuck? The fact that he hit him from that far away.
Yeah.
It was like 50 yards away that he fucking got with a handgun.
Yeah. It does come at the end though, and find out that the cop that killed the kid,
the rookie finally fesses up
and says what happened, and everybody's like, "Oh no, you're actually the bad one."
Yeah,
and he's like, I am.
I don't care.
It's what happened. I think pretty much. I remember. I watched it this morning.
Oh, that's right.
So like we talked about, the whole like police force basically leaves like Chuck Norris to die, like to go on this like one man mission,
right?
But obviously, of course, it's Chuck Norris. He saves the day. Him and his robot.
Yeah.
And at the very end, the very last scene, the police chief, he's like, he goes up to Chuck Norris. He's like, oh, are you going to come back tomorrow? Come back to work?
Yeah.
Like Chuck Norris like looks at all these people that like basically left him to die. He's like, yeah, I'll be in.
I know. It's like
really?
Yeah.
You can still be a cop just at a different department or something.
Exactly.
Consider this my resignation.
Yeah,
exactly. That would have been the fucking move.
That would have been great.
Dude.
God, I'm going to me and this robot have some memories to make.
It's like that ending you see that ending of Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid? I just wanted to end where the robot and Chuck Norris kind of like jump through a door, and they're like, ta-da! At the end, it's like Stog frozen. Oh god, that would have been so great. We got to see if he'll reshoot the end of the movie to do that.
Of this 35-year-old movie.
Yeah, because that would be awesome.
I mean, the robot's in the Smithsonian.
No,
shut the fuck up.
That would have been, dude.
Robot from Code of Silence. The Wright brothers.
Not even the Wright brothers plane. The Wright brothers.
They're just stuffed. What up?
They're riding the robot from this movie. Oh, history's weird.
A T-Rex chasing them.
Oh, dude.
Life's great when you make it up, right?
It is fucking awesome.
Man.
Yeah, I actually already went over most of the trivia. The whole like bar scene, that was pretty much based on a true story. The actor Dennis Farina.
That's his name.
That's his name. He was a real life police officer in Chicago. So last bit of trivia is, this was the first action movie from the director Andrew Davis. He would go on to direct The Fugitive, Under Siege, The Package, Collateral Damage, and Above the Law.
Wow. That's awesome. Under Siege. I watched it. I was like, I'm ready to talk about it.
Glowing review.
I just realized I don't remember anything about it.
Now that we've talked about Code of Silence, Brian, while you're taking a drink of Topo Chico, do you recommend this movie?
Oh, it's bubbly. I enjoy this one very much. Very much. Yeah.
I agree. Brian, do you recommend Code of Silence?
Happy birthday, Polly.
That's the part I didn't like.
Oh.
I'm gonna go no.
Just because the robot.
Yeah,
it was in there, what, maybe 3 minutes at the beginning.
It's only at the very beginning
and about 3 minutes at the end. And it ruined the movie for you, huh?
A little bit.
Wow.
Do you hate robots more than children?
No.
Huh.
Singing
what about
children?
robot children?
Yeah, singing children. But I don't dislike robots because I fucking love the robot in Rocky IV.
Yeah, okay.
And I love Short Circuit.
Yeah.
I hate Small Wonder though. So I'm mixed on robots.
Okay. I recommend this movie. That'll do it for this time.
Yep.
So until next time,
Good journey.
thanks for checking out this week's episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, tell a friend.